Let's get into 5 side hustles for teenagers if they want to make a little bit of extra money. Hey, welcome. I am Mr. Maciek, and this is part of a series for teenagers. So if you are interested in more information about financial independence as a teenager, then please subscribe below and also check out this playlist that has all the information. Okay, so let's get right into it. Number 1, it's about flipping things, and you may not know what that is. So real quick, flipping is about buying something for a lower price and selling it at a higher price. Sometimes you break it down, meaning you buy a big whole and then you sell it off by chunks. Sometimes you just buy one item and sell it for more. So here's a few examples of what you could do as a teenager, because it's pretty simple actually. First of all is things like candy bars, right? You can go to Sam's Club, buy a 48 pack of Snickers or whatever, a variety mix of candy bars, and then get them for less than $1 and then sell them for $1, $1.50 at school. Now your school may have rules against this, or maybe some teachers may not appreciate that, but pretty much a lot of kids do this, and there's usually not many people within one school that do it. So that is a great way to make double your money. Basically, you spend $40 on a box, you're probably going to make about $80 net revenue on that same box. Now another thing that you could do is garage sales. So you can flip things from garage sales. You might know that in your school or some of your friends, there is a demand for a particular type of item. Maybe, little video games for a Nintendo Switch or something. And you can go to garage sales and pick those things up pretty cheap, maybe like $10 or so, and then sell it maybe for 15 or 20. So it's just about buying and selling. It's really a sales game, but it's very easy because it should be something that you are interested in. And buying and selling could also be something that is specific to your school. So maybe there's something that in your school, you have a mascot or something, and you find something that is a item that relates to your mascot, and you can add a little hole through it, add a string, make a necklace out of it, and you go and sell the necklace for people who are very proud to be in the school. So that's a few ideas on what you could do when it comes to flipping items. Okay, now number 2 is really about services in the outdoors. So obviously the number 1 is mowing lawns, but we don't all live in areas like Florida where you can mow lawns all year long. Sometimes we got winter, like a real winter. So shoveling snow is a good alternative to that, or like in conjunction with, and also raking leaves during the fall, right? So basically just look at it this way. This is a complete side hustle. You can do this on Saturdays only and just spend maybe your morning on Saturdays mowing some lawns. It doesn't take much to go door to door in your neighborhood, starting with your next door neighbor and seeing if they would like to have their lawn serviced by you, just mowing the lawn, or maybe the leaves raked, or maybe shoveling the snow before they go off to work. So you kind of got to get up early for that one, right? So I always recommend as a teenager, you should do everything you can to save up $10,000. Now I know it seems like crazy, $10,000, how do I do that? Don't worry about the final goal, worry about the next step. The little next step that you can take, right? So for example, mowing lawns. What if you get $20 per cut? It's probably going to take you about 30 minutes to an hour, and all you have to do is pay for gas on that, right? Now you might have to buy a lawnmower if your parents don't let you use it, but lawnmowers are about $100, $150 at Home Depot anyway, so it's not much. So if you go mow lawns for $20 per cut, so how many lawns is it going to take for you to get $10,000? And surprisingly, it's only 500. And if you break that down even further, at 500 lawns, what if you cut 25 per week? So maybe on a Saturday and a Sunday, you do 12 and 13. That's no problem. That's usually about maybe 2-3 hours or so, just depending on how big the lawn is. I mean, there's a lot of factors in that calculation, but you can get that done in as little as 25 weeks if you do 25 per week. It's really not that difficult, and 25 weeks is really not much time. I know we have 52 weeks in a year, so it seems like, I got to work for 6 months to get $10,000, but to achieve $10,000 as a teenager is quite a task, and really it's not impossible or even that difficult if you just sacrifice a little. And what do I mean by sacrifice? All of these items that we're going to be discussing about how to make money do involve sometimes saying no to hanging out or no to playing a streaming video game or something like that. So let's get into number 3. So number 3 is really about repair services. So here are some examples, because you may have strength with one but not another, and you may not have any strengths in any of these, but they're really not that difficult to learn. And a lot of adults are not willing to learn, so they're willing to pay you. Here's an example. One thing that you could do is maybe repair bicycles or do bicycle tune-ups. They don't even have to be broken. You just tune it up, make sure the brakes are a little better, fill up the tires in the air, clean it up, polish it up, make it look sparkly and nice, right? So that is one service that you could do perfect when when the winter's ending and the summer's about to start and the fall is about to start, right? In Florida, it's 24/7 you can do this service. Another service would be audio visual equipment setup. So some people will buy, a Blu-ray player and they don't want to hook it up. They don't want to go through the hassle of the cable and what goes where and this goes that. Like, they just don't want to do that. So you could probably make $100 hooking that up for an adult, and then quickly record a little selfie video of you showing, like, hey, step 1, press the power button on your TV, go to input 2. Step 2, get your remote for your Blu-ray, put your DVD player in, press play. If it's audio involved as well, then tell them step 3, go turn on your receiver, and just like teach them that. But basically set it up first and then have a little educational thing. Then you send them that educational by text or by email, and bam, you just made $100. Do that 100 times, you got $10,000. So that's another example that you could do. And then in line with this is like computer repair, very easy, or printer setup. What if someone does not have the proper printer setup and it's just not working properly, or works from 2 computers but not the iPad? You can help them out and just hook all that up. What about restrictions on a router? It's pretty easy to figure out routers, and you can go and log into their router and set up parental restrictions or maybe time frame restrictions for that adult, with his children that might be 5 years old, and maybe they don't want them to access certain types of websites. So just some ideas of basically services that you can provide that are a higher skill set, and you definitely get paid more than $20 an hour on those. So you actually put in less hours to reach that $10,000. Now the next one you've also probably heard of, and that's washing cars. Because when it comes to washing cars, it seems like you just never do it enough. Cars get dirty so quickly. So there's like a lot of repeat business. If you do a good job, then people are going to call you back. And it's not just about washing, because for a wash, yeah, you might get $10, $15, right? It's going to take you 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. However, detailing cars, there's a lot more money in it. And you do have to be a detail-oriented person, right? You really have to be meticulous and have a checklist that you should create for yourself about first, take everything out of the car, then vacuum the car very well, then use some Armor All on certain parts, then use a leather conditioner, then clean the windows, and then maybe you have an extra service, an add-on service where you do all their windshield and all the windows and the mirrors with Rain-X or something. You can have like a tiered level of what you charge for. You could have a basic detailing, a basic cleaning, maybe bundle them both, save 15%. There's just so many things, and people love to save money. So even if it's not that much, they just buy more services, right? So really make a plan. You can download these plans. You just Google it, how to start a detailing business, and start with the basics and start with, little labor, meaning you scrub that stuff down that needs to be scrubbed. So that's another great idea. It's basically services that are a little more specific, and they're usually on your own time frame or on their time frame, right? It might be that you travel to their house to do it. It might be that they meet you at the mall and you do it in the mall parking lot while they shop, or the grocery parking lot, or something along those lines. All right, we got one more. All right, so the last one is about babysitting. So babysitting is something that is a little bit regulated, where I would recommend you actually go do a course on CPR, on babysitting and get some certifications, because it doesn't really take a lot to do that. And once you have that, you have credibility. And as soon as you have that credibility, you can probably get your first job. And I'm not sure exactly how much it pays, but I'm pretty sure you can make at least $10 an hour watching a child while parents go out to dinner or something like that. So as soon as you've had one client, you can then get a referral and ask them to write a nice little letter for you, right? So that you can use this letter as a reference to your next client and really try to get the next client to give you a reference. And once you have a little book of reference sheets, you can bring this to your appointment. You can show, hi, I am Maciek and I am here to babysit your children. Here is a book if you'd like to read through all the references that I have from past clients in this capacity of being a babysitter. And once again, you know, $10 an hour, you have to do 1,000 hours. I know that's a lot, but that's okay, because you might have add-on services. Again, you might be able to do something else, maybe watch the dog and take the dog out for a walk while you're there. So, you know, there's really, the sky is the limit in terms of your creativity on what you can create with just a little bit of your time. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this, teenagers. Let's get out there. Let's go do something. Set that goal for $10,000. If you don't like 10, go for 1. It does not matter. Just start somewhere and ask yourself, what is the next step I can take to get this far along this goal? What's the next step? Just a little bit. What can I do to add $5 to that pot? Or maybe 10, or maybe 100. So if you have any questions or if you have comments, please comment below. I will answer you directly. It will be directly from me, not some admin or some person from the Philippines. So please write here. And also, I do have a TikTok. It's Mr.MaciekZ, just like on the screen here. So please find me on TikTok. I have 1-minute videos almost every single day where I teach a little bit about something.